Hey guys, it's Chelsea and today I'm finally filming on my new camera. I don't know if some of you have heard me kind of mention it, little here, little there, in some of my videos. I don't know what that was. But anyway, I finally got a new camera. If you're interested in me talking about it, you know, how much it costs and whatnot, what kind I got, then just let me know in the comments below, but I'll ask because I don't know if anyone really cares. Anyway, we are here. We have a brand new camera bringing you guys great quality videos from now on. I was so sick of filming on my phone and my poo-poo laptop, and I'm just really excited to bring you guys nice quality videos. Without further ado, I wanted to make a video kind of ranting a little bit because working has just got me so frustrated and I really want to talk about it with you guys. So here we go, girls and guys. I don't know who's watching this. Anyway, today I wanted to talk about working in retail. I currently do have a retail job, but I just kind of wanted to sum up my experience as far as working in retail. After this year, or at the end of this year, I don't plan on working in it anymore if I can try and avoid it, because there's a reason retail has a bad rep, and it's because it's the day one, as soon as you're working in it, you see why. So anyway, I just kind of want to tell you guys some stories, give you guys some tips, and just tell you what's gonna go on if you get hired as a retail sales associate. So anyway, without further ado, I said that so weird. I wish I had like an editing thing in here. Without further ado, let's just get into the video. I do have the notes of different things I want to talk about on my phone. So let's get to a little bit of kind of story time, also telling you guys a little bit about what to expect when being a retail worker. So the thing about working in retail, and this is one of my top, most biggest frustrations with working in it, is the rudest, meanest, inconsiderate assholes come in there and expect top of the line service while they're being just so rude to you. And it is very frustrating because it will honestly happen on a daily basis. Definitely depends on what kind of store you're gonna be working at, but I know at my stores that I've worked at, it's very like, the rudest people come in and they want you to bend over backwards for them and just do all these things. And it's really annoying because, you know, like, I'm a person, people. Like, everyone, they just come in there, they're so rude, you know, they're so condescending. I've had a pregnant lady yell at me because I didn't hear what she said, and I was like, oh, excuse me, man, what'd you ask for? She's like, what did you know? And just go crazy, you know, people trying to be sneaky and do these, like, different returns and things, and we tell them no, and they're just, like, yelling at us, and I'm just sitting here like, listen, honey, I'm the messenger here. If you have a problem with how this place is ran, you need to contact someone in the higher up because they're telling me to tell you no. So I don't know what to tell you. So anyway, it's just really frustrating. You are constantly bending over backwards for people, you know, just trying to make sales, trying to get your numbers and different things. And, you know, like yesterday we had this lady come in wanting to get her shipping back. She had an online order, wanted to return it in store, which is whatever. I hate online orders being returned in store. I think it's the dumbest thing ever because as a store, it's really hard to combat those returns because you never made money from it in the first place, and it's just a whole thing. But anyway, comes in here and wants us to refund her shipping. Girl, it's 2015. Don't you understand that the company does not make money from you with the shipping? That's why online has different deals and different sales and all sorts of stuff, because you have to pay for the shipping. If you don't want to pay for shipping, you need to shop in store. Anyway, long story short, we did have to give her shipping back upon talking to people in the higher up, and it was just really frustrating because she was being so rude and everything, and it's just one of those things, like, as a person, I didn't want to give it back to her, but we had to. And that's another thing I want to talk about as far as putting your own thoughts aside, and it's something very, very difficult to do as a retail worker, is you have to realize that in that return, that's not my money, and it's not really my place to say whether to give her her money back. But it's one of those things, like, personally, I wouldn't give her her money back. Personally, I want to punch her in the face. Personally, I want to tell her to get the hell out of the store. Welcome to online buying. But professionally and being a representative of the company, I do have to realize, oh my God, someone would call me right now. Hold on. Sorry everyone, that was That was Bay calling, let me know that he almost got a ticket. Anyway, but yeah, it's really hard as a retail worker to put your personal thoughts aside and just do what you can. And it's very, very difficult when they're being rude. So I would just like to say that if you're a shopper, I understand like you run into ratchet people working and different things like that, but just try and be as nice as possible, because when you're on the other side, trust me, it really does get to you sometimes. And it's kind of annoying how much people expect out of you, and you're just one person working for a company and trying to represent them the best that you can. So anyway, that is that. All the things I wrote on here, I remember I was just so mad at work one day. I was like da 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 da, and just talking about like the different things. But anyway, people. Okay, so there is that. And I guess another thing would be that you, as like when you get hired, you have like the job title. You're either gonna be manager, assistant manager, sales associate, different things like that. What's annoying though is you never get told until you're actually working how many other titles you're gonna have. Like you're gonna be the store's little do-it-all, like just whatever needs to be done, do it. You're gonna be going to the bank. You're gonna be, I have all this stuff written down, receptionist, cleaning lady, miracle worker, like all these different things, like the lowest of the low when you first get hired. And it's real, stop! And anyway, so it's really frustrating, because when you get hired, they don't tell you about the fact that you're gonna be cleaning the store every night and doing all these different things. And that was one thing that was really hard for me to adjust to as far as going into retail, because I don't mind, you know, vacuuming, doing a little cleaning. You know, I want a store to be clean and I go into it, so I understand. But it's to the point where like I'm cleaning the bathrooms, mopping the floors, doing things that I'm just kind of like, this isn't necessarily my job title. And you know, like running to the bank, and it's just really frustrating, because it's one of those things where once you're in the situation, you don't have choices. Like you don't have the choice to say, well, no, I don't want to go to the bank, or no, I need to go, like I don't have time to do this mopping. It's just one of those things where you got to do it or they kick you to the curb. Okay, let's look how much else we have. Oh, honey, I need to talk about this. The most ridiculous night of my life working retail. And it pains me to say this out loud. This lady comes in, and we have a coupon that we used to give out. It was like 20% off your first purchase of $50 or more. This lady comes in, she's like, I want a $50 gift card, and hands me the coupon. I was like, ma'am, do you understand that there's like, gift cards are free? So if you want a $50 gift card, it was just one of those things where I was just stuck in the moment, like, what? You understand that if I take this percentage off the 50, it'll just give you that money. Like, it was just the most weirdest, ridiculous, who raised you? Do you have an education sort of moments? And I was just like in awe. Ridiculous. Anyway, and you know what's, I can't. Okay, another thing is definitely like when you work in retail, you're always going to be trying to strive to do better and be held to a certain extent of sales to make, different things to sell. I know in my store, the biggest thing is accessories. They want us to sell socks and all these different things. And anyway, it's really annoying because you never feel like you're good enough. You never feel like you can do good enough. You know, oh, you did that percentage, make it this, blah, blah, blah. You know, like everything you do is being analyzed, you know, how much you sell, the total of all the things you sold, the percentage of accessories, just all these different things. And it's really frustrating because it's really hard to feel good about yourself and good about the sales you're making when you're constantly just in the back of your ear, oh, you need to make more sales. Oh, you need to do this. Oh, you need to do this. You need to do this in this hour and blah, blah, blah. And you're just sitting here like, I'm trying. I can't force people to come in here. I can't force people to buy things. I can do my best, be the friendliest I can be, follow the steps to making having a good sale, but that's all I can do. And you know, it's really frustrating because a company expects so much from one person and you're just one person and you can't work miracles. I'm not a miracle worker, I'm just a worker. Okay. Getting that out there. Okay. Another thing is going to be, what else was I looking at on here? Oh, tax-free. In Florida, tax-free weekend and is a big thing. I think this year it's actually going to be a span of like a week. They're going to extend tax-free to a week. In other places up north, I'm not sure which states and whatnot, there are no taxes on, like I know my friend lives in Pennsylvania and she was so surprised when she came down here that there was taxes on clothes and different things, because up there I guess there isn't. So in Florida it's a really, really big deal because tax-free weekend and stuff means no taxes on clothes or anything that has to do with going back to school. So it's shopping craziness, okay? These people will do everything just to not pay the tax, and what's crazy is tax really isn't that expensive, you know. It's only a couple dollars if you only spend like $20, you know what I'm saying? Like, as far as tax-free goes, I understand because I'm a shopper myself and it's money you don't have to spend, but it's also one of those things like, is it really worth it to a certain extent if you're not gonna go buy a bunch of stuff because you're really not gonna save that much money? So anyway, it's just shopping craziness, and it's probably one of the worst times in my life being a retail worker. It is so like crazy, and people just expecting this amazing service even though it's just like I can't do more than my hands and my feet, you know what I'm saying? And it's really frustrating, and like people just grabbing so much stuff on the wall like, I want this, and it's just like, whoa, like, and anyway, it's really frustrating because people still expect the same sort of customer service and satisfaction, and it's like, honey, you just came at one of the busiest times of the year. Hell no, get it yourself. I'll help you when I can, but listen, I got a lot of other stuff going on, so bye-bye. Okay. Another thing is the payment. Okay, the minimum wage is $8.05, and I do not get paid that. I get paid a little bit more than that. But what's really frustrating is how low the payment is in retail. You do so much, like I was saying earlier, you have so many job titles, you're made to do, trained to do, whatever, so many different things, but you only get paid minimum wage in most situations. As far as like a 17, 18-year-old working in the mall, you are going to be making minimum wage unless you work yourself up to some sort of key holder or different things like that, like myself, and then you're able to make more money. But it's really frustrating as a worker because, you know, it's not like waitressing or anything where you're making very little money, but it's still just kind of like, can I get an extra 25 cents? Because I'm not like behind a wall, I'm not behind a phone, I'm not behind a computer. I'm face to face with these people, and I'm running, like, I think it's one of those things where once you work in retail, you realize how little you get paid for all the things that you do. And it's really frustrating because the hours are so limited, you know, like the malls and shopping centers and things are only open for so many hours and usually not too late. So it's really frustrating being a retail worker because especially the payment sometimes isn't even really fair in my opinion. Like from manager to sales associate is a huge gap just depending on where you're working. And it's really frustrating because usually as a sales associate, you're doing like everything the manager is doing, and you're still getting paid less. So it's really frustrating working in retail because as far as opportunities to grow, there really isn't any unless you just become really tight with a manager. But retail is one of those things where a lot of people, it's just very in and out. You work there for whatever, you know, during breaks and during certain seasons, and then you go. It's not a lot of people are long-term in retail. So I think that's why payment is so, like, you know, different. Another thing is shipment. People don't realize that before the things get on the racks and on the walls, that it had to be shipped in boxes, and someone had to go through that, tag that, put it up, put labels, different things. And it's really frustrating because that also wasn't something that I was told when I was hired, that I would be using box cutters and opening boxes and doing all these things and ruining my nails because I'm just doing stuff all the time and lifting so much heavy stuff. And oh my God, like shipment is such a pain, and especially because it always comes at the worst times, like stores packed full of people, all of a sudden the little FedEx guy comes in like, hey, and you're like, get out, like, yeah. And it's really, really frustrating. There's a lot that goes into retail that people don't think about, and shipment is one of them. It is a pain in the ass. The ass. Okay. I put a note on here like cleaning the floors like Cinderella, which I have looked like at one point. Literally didn't have a mop, so I'm on the ground looking like I'm using a toothbrush trying to clean the tile, and just letting you guys know that's what retail will make you do. It'll make you get on the floor like little Cinderella before the pretty times, before Prince Charming, and scrub the floors. Okay, so I think that was pretty much it. Yeah, I mean, I did also write about like store visits and stuff, how it's very similar to like when the principal comes into the classroom, how the whole store just completely changes when, you know, someone like your district manager or the person above that comes into town, and let me tell you, honey, you won't even recognize where you're working, okay? And it's nice, but it's also one of those things where it's kind of like, it ain't like this, honey boo. And and it's a little frustrating as a worker because they'll be like, oh, they're coming into town in a couple days, and it's like like doing all this stuff. And anyway, so yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed my video talking about retail and different things. I hope you all enjoyed it. If you can relate, please leave me a comment below. I would love to know what your experience was working retail. Definitely no hate towards the place that I work or any places that I have worked as far as retail is concerned, but it is one of those things that is very frustrating job to, I guess, style of job occupation, whatever, to be in. And there's a reason it has such a stigma, because once you work in it, you'll be like, oh God, this is it. Anyway, my boyfriend does work at Hollister, so I was wondering if you guys were interested in hearing from him about working at Hollister and different things. Let me know. I know there's a lot of videos of people talking about that, so I think the subject's kind of dead, but if any of you are interested in working at Hollister, want to know a little bit more about it, I can get my boyfriend on here, he could tell you. So anyway, I will see you guys next time here on Life of Chelsea. Let me know what you think about the camera quality and everything I said in this video. I'll see you guys next time, and bye!